Building Block, an introduction to autism. This video was adapted from the Building Block, an introduction to autism resource guide, which was created in partnership with the Cowessess First Nation and the Autism Resource Centre. What is autism? Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, or autism affects how an individual communicates with and relates to others. Autism also plays a role in how they perceive and make sense of the world around them.
There are varying degrees of autism, and it presents on a wide spectrum, which means each individual with autism is unique and no two people on the spectrum experience the world in the same way.
People with autism have unique strengths that are coupled with some common characteristics, such as differences in social interaction. People with autism show social and communication differences from an early age that may include limited eye contact, difficulty saying words, difficulty with reading facial expressions and body language, difficulty starting and maintaining social interactions, trouble making friends, and socially inappropriate behaviors or interactions. People with autism usually have difficulty with communication. This can range from being nonverbal to highly verbal with an excellent vocabulary, but difficulties with give and take conversation. The degree of communication and social differences varies from person to person.
People with autism can have rigid, repetitive types of behavior, interests, or activities. Similar to social and communication differences, these will vary from person to person. Rigid and repetitive patterns start at an early age and may include repetitive behavior such as lining up toys, flapping hands, or echoing speech. Need for sameness routines and upset with a change in routine. Highly focused interests, or focused interest in sensory aspects of the environment. Examples are excessive touching of objects, or sensory sensitivities and changes.
Individuals with autism can experience both hypersensitivities, over-responsiveness, and hyposensitivities, under-responsiveness, to a wide range of stimuli, including sight, sounds, smells, tastes, touch, and body awareness.
Knowing more about autism can help create more inclusive, accepting, and positive experiences.
Autism affects all races, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds, and it's more common than most people think. It is estimated that autism occurs in every 1 in 66 births in Canada, so the chances are you know someone in your immediate circle or community that is living with autism.
It's important to remember that autism is not infectious, contagious, caused by a person's upbringing or caused by vaccines.
In Indigenous communities, there's an underdetection of autism, which may be for a variety of reasons, including a lack of cultural sensitivity in healthcare assessment tools. For example, tools that do not reflect cultural differences of Indigenous people, limited access to mental health services, and limited awareness about autism in some communities. It's also possible that children may be getting misdiagnosed with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, FASD, due to some of the similarities between autism and fetal alcohol syndrome disorder, like language delays, social challenges, and restricted interests, to name a few. While there's no known cause or cure, there are a number of supports available to help people living with autism. There are also ways we can adapt our approaches to better support and communicate, such as using clear and direct language, giving directions in smaller steps, using pictures and visual supports like visual schedules and first-then visuals, avoiding sarcasm, metaphors, idioms, and puns, and giving time to process language, as well as maintaining a clear routine.
Culture as a source of support. Many Indigenous cultures in this area of Canada consider the 7 grandfather teachings as core values: courage, love, wisdom, respect, truth, honesty, and humility. It's important to keep these values in mind when discussing autism because all children are valued and bring special gifts into families and communities.
These special gifts, or superpowers, may look like an ability to focus on special interests, attention to detail, visual thinking and learning, excellent structure and routine, strong rule following, and unique problem-solving abilities.
Many First Nation communities view people with a disability as being closer to the Creator and believe that the Creator gives everyone a unique and spiritual gift and is always protecting them. They're not viewed through the lens of their diagnosis, but rather as spiritual beings with diverse abilities.
There are many ways to describe the unique gifts and abilities an individual with autism brings to their community using Cree words. Kakama wach iyisinit, which can be translated to English to mean they are given a unique, quiet, spiritual intelligence. Pitos manitonek ianisinit, which can be translated to English to mean they are given a different way of thinking in its own spiritual intelligence. Imikasot pitos manitonichitan, which can be translated to English to mean they are given different ways of spiritual thinking. Imikosit pitos isigwaskawit, which can be translated to English to mean they are given the gift of moving a different way or being.
When children have these special gifts, they actually have a unique relationship with the Creator, with the spiritual world. A child who has a very unique perspective on the world, we can actually learn a lot from them.
Support and resilience. Decolonizing our approach to supporting individuals with autism is important. Our children do not need to be in institutional homes. We learn from them. Ayul prepared their family to learn about him. He received his ceremony name when he was 2. He was still rolling when he was 2 and he couldn't get over humps. He learns Lakota with Jeannie. He participates in ceremonies. Children have many gifts and their gifts don't come out right away. Jeannie Haywahay and Heather Akus, Cookums to Ayul, 15.
People with autism may have some struggles, but they're also incredibly resilient. Some ways that family and community members can support resilient development are gaining spiritual strength, connecting with social supports and family, focusing on what you can control, being optimistic about the future, sharing values and teaching through ceremony and storytelling, accepting and celebrating our differences, accessing supportive resources.
If you have questions or concerns about your child's development, please reach out to your local healthcare provider. You can also find out more information about autism and tools at the following links.